Oh yeah, early morning. Lots of bird sounds. And today, Shaw Gardens, looking a little shabby. About time to mow. Today will be quite the adventure. So I got hired to pick up a art project of sorts, and I'm driving it to Portland from Seattle, Ballard to Portland, Oregon is what I'm doing. So 30 some odd dollars an hour. Fuel, gas prices are a little crazy right now. So I said, you're gonna have to pay a fuel surcharge and put a sizable number on that as well. I just assumed they would cancel driving an art project to Portland, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. So got Vicky here, gonna check her vitals, make sure she has enough oil, coolant and such. It's a little drizzly early in the morning. Gotta be there at 10 a.m. When I get out of Seattle, I want to beat the commuter traffic and get to Portland in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours or so. So we're gonna see how this goes. It's gonna be an interesting adventure. So my wife is coming with me, and I billed 7 hours because I said, hey, you know, I gotta drive down and drive back. So you're gonna have to pay for that 7 hours, 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back. So my wife and I decided I canceled a task I had on Saturday because this was booked a while back. So yeah, I canceled a task on Saturday so I could make a weekend out of it. We're making a weekend out of it. Also, in order to justify this as a business expense, I'm doing some research while in Portland on some side work I'm doing for a guy who needs a mirror in a 2018 Camaro. So mirror busted off in the Camaro during the snowstorms and stuff we had here. Dealership wants like $500, $600 just for the part, and then labor. So they just like over $1,000 just to replace a driver's side mirror. So I'm trying to help him with that. Really difficult to find this part, but there's a wrecking yard in Portland, Hillsboro, that has a 2018 Camaro. They won't tell me if it has a mirror. They won't tell me, right, anything else about the car, just to say that, yes, there's a 2018 Camaro here. So we happen to be going to Portland. And this would also justify it as a business expense and in getting a hotel. All right, topped her off with coolant. She was a little low on oil. She's full of oil now. Transmission fluid is great. This is amazing too, is that it's still this appropriate color. It's still nice and pink the way it should. Back in the yard. Get back in the yard. So getting the van all packed up. I just realized we're about out of chicken feed and leaving for the weekend. Grandma is gonna house sit, so my mother-in-law is gonna be the chicken grandma. And Gunner and the cats. She's taking care of all that while we're away. She's gonna stay here at the place, which is nice. And yeah, taking Vicky to Portland. What could go wrong? Yeah, ignore that sound. It'll go away. When she warms up, she'll be fine. All right, here at the farm store here in the city. Chickens are happy. Boom. Filled that up. And yeah, ready to go. I also got enough tools to repair just about anything. Alternator, if I lose a radiator, pop a tire. Got a flat repair kit in there, everything. This is my extra tensioner pulley because that sound is the broken engine bracket. It's fixed, it's better, but it's still a concern. Extra belt right here. This belt is like $100, by the way. So I carry an extra one of those with me. Tensioner pulley, ready to go. Under the engine bracket has 2 bolts that go in, and the whole thing is held together with JB Weld. what could go wrong? It'll be fine. Here we go. And here we are at the destination. Looks like there's a house. We'll back up into the area here. This should be interesting. All right, and there it is. It wasn't real easy to get in the vehicle. It's steel, pretty heavy. Cool piece. I show up at this house and I thought in my mind, right? Don't assume things, Ross. That's something I should have thought about. Thought I'd go to a consignment store or an art gallery place or something like that is where I was going. But no, I was going to a house and I show up and it's like they're moving and there's this woman there and she's like 100 pounds soaking wet. Like this skinny, small woman, young, you know, and I'm like, do you guys have a dolly? I'm like, is there somebody else here gonna help out? No, it's just me. I'm like, oh wow. So, but she helped me carry the thing out to the van. Like, wow. My wife's here. She's got an injured knee, so like that was out. And yeah, amazing that she was able to carry it that far because this thing is heavy. It's heavier than yesterday's couch delivery. It's a steel, old-timey locker like from the 50s. Cherise. Cheapest gas, industrial area, Seattle. So we got 3.5 hours to get to Portland. So she wants this thing delivered before like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Watch old Vicky go. It's accurate. 145 miles, 143 miles. Stopped at the rest area. The Toutle River Safety Rest Area. Toutle River from Mount St. Helens. I gave that woman $1, by the way.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know, made me feel better about myself. So it's time to get some more energy, get back on the road. 100 more miles to go, or so. All right, a mixed CD. Like a very cool concert that never existed. Listening to on the way to Portland. Come on. All right, so we just dropped off the locker here in Portland, in this kind of cool neighborhood here. It was there's a delivery guy that helped me carry it in because she was like, I don't know, 8 months pregnant or something like that. She was like she helped me struggle to bring this thing in, and it was so yeah, this delivery guy, like an Amazon guy or something, showed up and you guys need help. He helped us bring it in. So thank God for him. $260, boom, and we get our little time here in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
Nice. Ordered her $50 worth of fuel, and check that out. We used about a little over a quarter tank driving here. Because that's freeway miles, baby. Freeway miles, not as bad. So I probably quoted her pretty dang good for fuel. There and back, maybe. Could have gone $10 more, but
$60 in Seattle.
Yeah. And here we are at our hotel. We've stayed here before. They always give us they have great rates. And there's cherry blossoms. It's cherry blossom time. Hilton Garden Inn. It's kind of a corporate-y hotel, but it works.
The next day.
We're up. It's morning time. Put Vicky the van right down there. Look at her just hanging out in the parking lot down there. So as far as the mirror for the 2018 Camaro, the wrecking yard is closed. It's Saturday. seriously, what wrecking yard is closed on Saturday? So came down here, business trip, right? Came down here to deliver the locker, was paid to deliver the locker and drive back home. But being that this couldn't be possibly a tax deduction, we thought, well, you know what, let's get a hotel and we'll go get that part for that client, because that's a part that is really hard to find. There's no aftermarket parts for a 2018 Camaro, at least the mirror. And guess what? The only part that I could find besides in Phoenix, Arizona is here in Portland, and we just happen to be in Portland. But they're closed. So I'm gonna have to call and see what it costs to ship that. Because a lot of these places, that's how it works, right? Yes, we have a 2018 Camaro in the lot. You're gonna have to come look at it and pull the part. Well, does it have a mirror on it? Don't know. You're gonna have to come look at it. So sometimes you can get a TaskRabbit or someone else to go out and harvest the part if the wrecking yard doesn't do that. And it sounds like this might be one of those places where they don't have the resources, and if the car doesn't sell parts, they just scrap it, right, for money to steal.